I have not been book shopping all year. All year. Except like the odd like one book, like if I'm out and I like see a book. But like, say it with me, that doesn't count. That doesn't count, right? So I haven't been book shopping all year. And we're in June! I've made it half a year without book shopping. I'm really proud of myself. Look, between you and me, I forgot to film the introduction for this video, so I've already been book shopping, but you haven't seen it yet. So, hi, welcome to the video. We're going book shopping. So yes, today we're going book shopping, and also we're going somewhere completely new to me. I had actually never heard of this place, and then I heard a girl talking about it on her booktube channel the other day, and it's a place called 66 Books. Which, if you haven't heard of it, it is basically a giant book warehouse where I guess they have like the books that didn't sell like when they were released, or if the publishers like bought too many, I think they go to this warehouse and they basically sell brand new books for 70% off. And I heard this girl talking about it and I was like, oh my goodness, where is this? It is 40 minutes from my house. 40 minutes. Never heard of it, never been. Sorry? So yeah, we are going to the land of books. We are going to the book warehouse for the first time. I am so excited. I'm going with my mum and you guys are going to come along with me. As I say, I've already been, so spoilers. It's so cool. It's so cool. Anyway, you guys watch that and then we'll come back and we'll do a haul of everything I bought. I've got books! Specifically, I have 2 bags worth of books. Damage was done. First of all, can I just say, so I've never heard of 66 Books. I don't really like know a lot about them, but the people working there are literally so lovely. So apparently, normally when you go there, there can be really long queues, like I'm talking 4-hour queues. And there's a Facebook page where you can basically see how long the queue is. So we were kind of like watching that and being like, oh, when should we go? And it seems the afternoons are like the best time to go, because when we went, no queue. None. We just walked right on in, and there was like a guy who like met us and explained how it all worked, and he was so lovely, and then like checkout was so lovely, and it was just honestly such a cool place. And like it was busy but like not crazy. There were probably people on every aisle, but it wasn't like jam-packed or anything like that. Like it was a very unstressful experience, and I did get 2 bags worth of books. To be fair, some of these are my mum's. I'm going to talk you through the books I got first. Just in case anyone was interested, I thought I'd talk you through some of the books she got, because I've actually read some of the books that she got as well. Anyway, let's start with the books that I bought. So on their website, they basically explain that they don't have like the newest releases, which is true. There weren't any like 2024 releases, but they still had really big popular books. And look, I had to contain myself to not just buy everything in the shop, because they are 70% off, but they're like, it's still money. I still had to be sensible. So I limited myself where possible, and it was so hard, and I have every intention of going back. But I like just got my TBR under 100, and I don't think I ever spoke about it on this channel, but I was so proud of myself, and it's now no longer under 100. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to talk you through the books that I got. So actually, I think this is the first book that I picked up. I got The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which I feel like this is a new-ish release. 2013. Okay, so it's not recent. They did have the entire, not trilogy, it's like, there's like 4 of them, right? They had all 4 of them, and I nearly got all 4, and I was like, no, be good. Get the first one. Obviously, this is the author of the Inheritance Games, which I haven't read either. but I just know everyone loves this series and everyone's kind of been talking about this recently. So I wanted to get it and see my thoughts, and hopefully I enjoy it. Then I got a book that I've actually not heard of, which is After You'd Gone, but the author Maggie O'Farrell wrote Hamnet, which I loved. I read that probably like 2 years ago, like quite a while ago, before I had a channel. And I remember that book kind of took me by surprise because it's historical fiction, which again is not necessarily like a genre that I read a lot of. And I was like, I don't know, I was a bit nervous going into it, but her writing style was so gorgeous. And this is not what I've heard of, but it just sounded really interesting. So it follows this girl called Alice, and she is going on a train to Scotland to visit her sister, and then it says, hours later, she steps into traffic on a busy London road and is taken to hospital in a coma. So it says, what did she see in Edinburgh that made her return so suddenly? Was this an accident or a suicide attempt? So I'm guessing it's like literary fiction. I don't know, but I just love her writing style and I thought it sounded really interesting. And I've not heard anything about this, so if anyone's read it, let me know your thoughts. Unless you didn't like it, and then don't tell me. No, I'm kidding, tell me your thoughts. I didn't realise how pretty that spine was. That's gorgeous. This is like doing Lucky Dip because I kind of forgot what I've bought. Oh, this might be the one I'm most excited about. This is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I didn't even read the blurb for this, I just picked it up and went, you are coming home with me. I believe this is meant to be somewhere between literary fiction and romance, and I've just heard amazing things and I think it's going to be right up my alley. It says it follows Eva, who is a single mother and a best-selling erotica writer. Did not know that, that is so fun. She meets Shane at a literary event and sparks fly. What no one knows is that 15 years earlier, Eva and Shane spent 1 week together madly in love. So I guess it's like second chance romance, but I've heard it's like kind of literary fiction vibes as well, which I love. And it's about writers, which I didn't even know, and I love books about writers. Oh, I actually might have to pick this up immediately. I'm like already planning my trip back to 66 books because there were so many books that I wanted to get but didn't. Okay, next. I kind of just got this on a bit of a whim. I saw Hayley Pham read this recently and I've not seen anyone else talk about it. I don't even know her opinion on it, but the cover is so stunning that I was like, I just want to own it anyway. And that is The Villa by Rachel Hawkins. I believe this is a mystery, question mark? It follows friends Emily and Chess. They go on a girls' trip to reconnect because they've kind of grown apart. And it says, the villa they're at has a dark past. In 1974, it was rented by a notorious rock star will be fun, who was joined by an up-and-coming musician, Pierce, and his girlfriend, Marie. By the end of the holiday, Pierce is dead and Marie goes on to write one of the greatest horror novels of all time. Is this about writers too? Emily digs into the villa's history and I guess she starts like finding out stuff about the past with these musicians. That actually sounds really, really fun. I love stories about musicians, I love stories about writers. I guess I just love stories about like creatives in general. I don't know, but that sounds great. And tell me that cover is not beautiful. Like that is stunning. I just need to get a copy of, what is that book called with oranges on? Simple Pleasures? I do not think that is what that is called. I always see it and never get it. I actually found at 66 Books a gorgeous like hardback edition of it, but I don't really like hardback books, but it was stunning and I so nearly got it. And I actually really want to read that book, so if I get both and have like my lemons and my oranges like next to each other like displayed, that would be kind of cute. Okay, I'm so excited for this book. This is Hidden Pictures and this is like, it has pictures all throughout it. I don't really want to look at the pictures too closely because I don't know if they're spoilers. They're probably not, but I just think this sounds amazing. But I believe this is about a girl who's babysitting a little boy who likes to draw pictures, and I think those pictures start quite sweet and nice. Let me see if I can find a picture at the start. Oh, okay, literally on page 20 it's already kind of horrifying, so maybe not. But in my head, the pictures start nice and they start getting really dark and she's kind of trying to like unravel what's going on with the child. I don't know, it sounds really good. I feel like I actually ended up getting quite a lot of like mystery thrillers, which is really unusual for me. And then I debated getting this for so long because I was looking for a book by this author, but I was looking for a different book and they didn't have it, but they had this one. And I was like, I'm just gonna have to do it. The Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. I really wanted to find the 7 Year Slip because I know everyone's talking about it at the moment, but I have never read an Abby Jimenez book. Isn't that awful? Isn't that actually terrible? So I got this one, and I did get it home and then realise it's technically the second one in a series after The Friend Zone, but I'm assuming they're like more interconnected standalone romance books, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. Someone tell me if it's like a massive problem, but if it's just like, oh, the first couple are kind of vaguely related to the couple in this, then I'm not that worried about it. I don't even know what this one's about. Oh, there's a dog in it. If the dog dies, I will actually riot. I will riot. Sorry, I was really aggressive. Okay, so it follows Sloane and it says, 2 years after losing her fiancé, she can't get her life back on track. She meets a troublesome pup. That's so cute. And then after weeks of unanswered texts, Tucker's owner reaches out. Oh, I do kind of know what this is about. He's a musician on tour and it's his dog, and they're like talking about the dog over text or something. Wait, we have so many books about musicians. I love that. I know everyone loves this author and I want to jump on that bandwagon, so hopefully I'll really like this. Okay, so that was my self-restraint. I only bought 6 books. As I say, I could have bought so much more. I literally was like, I had a basket full and I was like, I sat down at a table and I was like sorting them out and like putting ones back on the shelves. I was like, do I really need this book? Because I own too many books and I don't want to like buy a bunch of books that I'm not going to read. In my head, my rule for myself when I'm book shopping is you can buy it if you want to read it imminently. Like you're planning on reading this soon. Anyway, so those are the ones I got. I'm going to go through the ones my mum got. She actually ended up getting more than me, which is unusual. I think she got 8 books. And you will notice a theme. She is very much a mystery thriller detective kind of a gal. So I will quickly go through these. Obviously I don't know the plots of these too well, but I will do my very, very best. This is A Highland Christmas by MC Beaton. I know she's read quite a few of this series because I bought them for her. These are like quite quick, short mystery stories. They're all like under 200 pages. This one, I guess, is a Christmas one. Then, this is funny actually, she got The Curfew by T.M Logan, and I saw her pick up a T.M Logan book, and I said to her in the shop, I was like, oh, I read a book by him this year. Didn't then think anything of it, and then when we got home I was looking through the books she bought, and I went, oh, I read that book. This was the book that I read. It was actually the first book I read this year. And she bought it, which is fun, because I enjoyed it. It was basically about these boys who stayed out past their curfew, and then the next day there's like a girl in the town who's gone missing, and it's kind of about like how far a parent will go to protect a child. I listened to the audiobook, so I didn't have a copy, so it's kind of fun now that we have a copy in the house. Also, T.M Logan is one of the authors who messaged me during my texting authors to pick my like reads for the week video, which by the way, if you haven't seen, I literally love that video so much, and I spoke to some of my favourite authors, like authors I adore. So if you want to go see me fangirl for half an hour straight, please check out that video. But yeah, so my mum got a copy of The Curfew, which is so funny because, well, I guess it's actually not that funny. Next up, she has a book called Even Dogs in the Wild by Rankin. I know Ian Rankin is I was about to say a fan of her. She's a fan of him. I don't think he knows my mother exists. I've also read a few Ian Rankin books way back in the day, and I did enjoy them. This follows a lawyer who's been murdered, and it follows D.S. Siobhan Clarke. Oh no, it doesn't follow D.S. Siobhan Clarke. It follows someone called Rubus who is helping Siobhan. There was a note found on the body of the lawyer, and then across town an identical note is received along with a bullet through a window. And so I guess they're solving that. I'm actually awful at reading blurbs. Like, I don't really do it. Someone tell me if anyone else does this. I pretty much have made up my mind if I'm buying a book without reading the blurb, which is awful. It's really, really bad, and I recognise that. But I will pretty much have already decided if I want it, and then I'll read the blurb to, like, make myself have read it, but I'll have already made the decision. It's very rare I change my mind. But, like, I'll either already know what the book is about, and I'll either know, like, I don't want to read this or I do, or I've decided I really like the cover or the title and I'm gonna get it anyway. Like, that's not a good quality. At least I'm self-aware. Okay, the next book is called Freeze Frame by Peter May. It is set in France on a frozen island. It says the island is a scene of a murder left shrouded in mystery and grief. So I guess it's like a murder mystery set on a frozen island. I don't even really know what a frozen island means. No, that setting looks really cool. Then we have The Wrong Side of Goodbye by Michael Connelly. It follows a man named Harry, and he is LA's newest private detective. He doesn't advertise, he doesn't have an office, and he only answers to himself. So it sounds like there's a private detective. He's working for a reclusive billionaire who basically he's hired him to find out what happened to his great love who disappeared after revealing she was pregnant. So kind of like tracking down this woman. Then we have The Body Falls by Andrea Carter, which has the longest blurb in history. Oh, so it's set in a cycle race. And it says there's a lot of rain causing the cyclist to postpone the event and stay overnight in town. Oh, that's fun. So it's like forced to stay in the middle of nowhere, I'm guessing. And of course, there's a body, there's a murder. And so I guess it's, yeah, following this group of cyclists. That actually sounds fun. I'm so judgmental to my mum's reading taste. I'm like, that actually sounds interesting. We just have very different tastes in books. She reads almost primarily, I would say like 90% like detective books. And I will probably read one a year. At the heart of hearts, I'm like a literary fiction girly, a dystopian girly, a romance girly. I don't know, like we have very, very different reading taste. Occasionally we overlap and I'm like, you have to read this book and she really likes it, or vice versa. And it's fun when that happens. Okay, we have, oh, another book by Michael Connelly. We have The Poet. I really hope this is about a writer, because if it is, I will borrow it. There is a pattern of cops taking their own life. It says, each of the dead men haunted by a case they couldn't crack, leaving a coast-to-coast trail of suicide notes written in chilling poetry. And then the final book, we have Peter May, The Black House. Literally all of her books are about a murder. Literally every single one. It says, a brutal killing takes place on the Isle of Lewis in Scotland. Something lurks within the close-knit island community, something sinister. You can literally see where my books end and my mum's start, because mine are all like bright and cute colours, and then my mum's are just dark, grey and black. We have very different reading tastes, but that's okay. That's the beauty of reading. Anyway, there we have it. We got 14 books. Oh, that's my lucky number. Lovely. And what's really fun about the warehouse is that when you're like booking out, they tell you how much you would have spent originally and then like how much you got the books for. So you realise like quite how much money you saved, which is just very cool. And also, I was so proud of us for only getting like a handful of books, because there were people there with boxes, with wheel bags, with like, there was one woman who, and I respect it so much, she was book shopping and she had her husband and 2 kids with her, and they all had baskets of books, and I kind of got chatting to her and I was saying like, oh, that's so nice that you're doing like a family book trip. And she said, no, all of these books are mine, none of them read. She had 4 baskets of books and they were just there, like carrying her books, and I kind of respect it. Because also, it's a big place. We were there for 2 hours. Like 2 hours, like not including parking and like getting involved, like looking at books, we were there for 2 hours. There isn't really like a system to the books, like they're kind of organised by like ages, but there isn't like a genre or like any like alphabetical or something, so you kind of do just have to wander up and down and see what you can find, which to me makes it so much more exciting because you have no idea what you're going to find. But yeah, I honestly loved that place so much, and the people who worked there were just so lovely, and I will absolutely be going back 100%. Anyway, I am going to wrap up here because I feel like I have rambled for quite a long time. Thank you very, very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Subscribe if you're not already. I would love to have you. We have some fun books planned, and let me know which ones of these you want to see me read first. And I hope you have a beautiful, magnificent rest of your day. Bye!